Sitting with the hurt and the harm in one room. Let truth breathe easy so grace can bloom. Victim, offender, mediation, step by step. Teaching how to listen and make a safe rep. From cell blocks to classrooms, from courts to the street. Designing programs where real people meet. Community centers and facilities too. Building bridges that carry us through. 50 states traveled, a map full of skies. Showing how to journey with wide open eyes. Workshops and pages, your wisdom in ink. When the world needs mending, you help it rethink. Host of Just Jacks, we lift every voice. Re-entry with dignity, give people a choice. Restorative justice, repair what was torn. Conflict resolution, new trust can be born. Family reunification, bring loved ones back. Hosting Just Jacks, we stay on that track. Bust down. When the lights fade low, the mission stays bright. Re-entry with dignity, we step toward the light. Restorative justice in motion, hearts reconnect. Conflict resolution with courage and respect. Family reunification, we open the door. Host of Just Jacks, keeping the circle square.
We did it. We made it. It's Monday night, second Monday of the year. How are you doing? Thank you, thank you, thank you. David Causey in the house, almost always the first person in the comments. How cool is he? Like, seriously, one of these days, he's finally going to be a guest on my stage. But tonight, we got totally different. We got some guys that I'm not even connected with on LinkedIn. Can you believe I'm not connected with some people on LinkedIn? It's kind of weird. But you have only met one of these guys through my show before. Matt has been here before, but the other three, totally new to me. Okay. Well, I know one from our town, but the other two I just met tonight, just in the green room, just a few minutes ago. I cannot wait to get them on stage, but I want to check in with you guys. How are you doing? Are you ready for a few laughs? Now, guys, I'm going to be on stage with 4 grown-ass men. I don't know exactly what's going to come out of their mouth. They know to be respectful. They are touted as clean comedy, but every single human has just a little different idea on what comedy is. So we don't want anybody to be offended tonight. We also want you to remember that the reason I'm highlighting them specifically tonight, because in just a couple weeks, they are giving their time up when they could be making a lot more money than hanging out with me. I mean, you know, it's a thing. But they're doing comedy for a cause, and my awesome nonprofit that I work for, we are the beneficiaries of this. So as most people know, I am the director of that office. And so I have shared it on our work Facebook, which I don't usually talk about my private stuff. Like, this show is my private stuff. So anything you hear me say tonight does not reflect my agency. It does not reflect the board of directors or our staff or our participants. So tonight it's just Jackie as Jackie and 4 amazing men from West Michigan, over here kind of by where I live, that are giving up their time, number one, tonight, to let you know who they are, to maybe give you a couple laughs or two, and to promote the event that's going to be on January 31st. So I know a lot of my wonderful people that watch this show that come here all the different times. You are not local. It's just not, it's not something that you are right here in my town. Not many of my people are. We just talk to each other from all over the cities, different states, different countries. I love it so much. So if you are interested in supporting my agency, many of you know some of the loss of funding we had recently. If you cannot buy tickets, but you want to support us, you are welcome to check out this QR code. It goes right to our website donation page. And you can put in even $2 all the way up to whatever your heart desires. And that goes right to our agency. Because we get some matching dollars for the state, this money that we raise right now, whether it's through the QR code or through the comedy show, it's actually going to be a triple match. So if you give $20, it's really like you gave $60. If you gave $100, it's really like you gave $300. How cool is that? And so I will put this QR code up throughout the show, especially towards the end again, and I will put it in the comments at the end of the show. So feel free to message me if you don't see it, and you are called to donate to us. So, guys, we've got some funny men. I have not really heard many jokes on my show. I mean, we used to have a bunch in the comments. We used to have Noah that was always here, and he would put some puns out there. And there's some other of you that kind of make me smile all the time. I love it, and I appreciate you guys so much. But we need to get some jokes going. We need to get some gentlemen on the stage, because here I am hanging out all by myself when I can be surrounded by some pretty amazing people. Are you guys ready for that? So not one, not two, not three. I got 4 guys ready to come up. Are you ready for them? I'm so ready for them. Okay. We got one. Hey, Rick.
Hi, Jackie.
So glad to have you here. We got Joe. Hey, Joe.
What's going on?
What's going on? We got Brian. Hey, Brian.
Well, hello.
Well, hello. The deep voice from down under. I mean, it sounds like it, but you're not.
It's
You're
not
down
from down
me.
under.
Well, you're down under me, right?
Well, in the view, sure. Yeah, there.
Let's go with
yeah.
that.
And I guess I'm in Grand Rapids, which is technically a little bit south of Muskegon, but mostly east. But yeah.
I love that. And now, to make our Brady Bunch square not really square anymore, we are going to bring up the one guy that has been on Just Jackson Guest before, the one and only guy from the car, Matt. How are you?
Hey, guys. I feel like I should try to do a Brian intro and say hello, but I can't do it. I just can't make it happen. So
You were trying, though, weren't you?
I was.
Yes.
I was trying.
Yes, Kenny, I did call them 4 grown-ass men. I mean, come on. It is after hours. I can do that once in a while. It's probably the funniest thing I've ever said on this show, right?
Especially because you called it, we specialize in clean comedy, and then the first thing out of your mouth immediately is, and that's now, okay for TV, but yeah.
I have to bite my tongue all the time, so I never drop the other words that sometimes come out of my mouth with kind of work I do. So, guys, thank you for taking your time. You guys are giving me like hours and hours, because tonight's show is only an hour, but we messaged beforehand, and you guys are doing not 1 but 2 shows on January 31st for us. How lucky are we? Seriously.
So very lucky.
You very, very lucky. Yes, very lucky indeed.
Yeah.
Well, who's lucky?
Everyone's very lucky, Joe. Everyone.
I would really wait until Friday at about 10.
Friday.
Yeah, that's fair.
at 10.
That's fair.
Don't you mean Saturday?
The
Because it's a
31st
Saturday
day.
show.
The 31st.
On show day, after the second show,
Let's go with that.
Joe is reserving judgment until January 31st at the Frauenthal Center, the Beardsley Theater in Muskegon, beautiful downtown Muskegon, right by the roundabout. Can't miss it. Get your tickets now.
Oh, I love that. Can anybody tell that some of these people have been on like radio and TV and everything? Because you're going to hear about it. I'm going to pick on Joe first, because Joe has special meaning to me, and he probably doesn't even understand the links we have connected without really connecting. So I remember the first time I ever met Joe, he was working at a school that I became a school board member at. And then you have served in some leadership capacities with our agency. You have mentored with our agency. I've seen you take some of the coolest sports photography out there in our town. And I see you preaching, and I see you helping other people and all the things. So we just don't connect as much as we should. But thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure. And that's crazy. That's wild that we don't.
I know, right?
We should.
It's like
We should.
our town is tiny. I mean, the guys from Grand Rapids, it's a little different story, but Grand Rapids, Muskegon, we're pretty close too. But Joe, I want to start with you, and I want you to tell our audience 2 things that you are proud of that you have accomplished in your life.
I made it to 54 years old, and I didn't get killed, or I'm not in prison. So that's a good start. Actually, I'm most proud of me being the first African-American educator at Orchard View School, administrator at Orchard View School, and first African-American administrator at Reese Buffer Schools.
I didn't know both of them.
Yes. So that for sure. And I think also I'm most proud of my marriage, my relationship with my wife, my boo thing.
Is she watching in the audience somewhere? Or is she sitting there making faces at you in the house?
I hope
Does
so.
she have boo thing on a t-shirt by any chance? Because you need to get her some merch.
No, but she does make t-shirts, so maybe we'll get one.
Okay. There you go.
You might want to have them in front of the comedy show, because I mean that could be, you could like claim that name, but most of us might like to be called that now and then too. So
Yeah, she's my boo thing. I told her.
I love that.
Mhm.
Oh, Joe, I'm going to bounce around to everybody and hear their two things too, because one of the things we don't do is we don't hype ourselves enough. And part of this show is always hyping amazing, diverse humans and talking about some of the tough topics. I mean, if anybody's on social media for more than 2 seconds or they watch the news, is that still a thing? You know, the world is a rough place right now, and we need to talk about some of that to make it happier, healthier, safer for everybody. So, Rick, your turn. Tell us two things you are proud of yourself for.
Well, of course, I'm proud of my family, have 3 kids, and but proud of the years that I've spent teaching people how to grow plants. I am a self-made entrepreneur. I give people a good swift kick in the plants. Wrote a book called I Just Wet My Plants. Was on the ABC affiliate here in West Michigan for 30 years as Mr. Green Thumb, did a live radio show for over 30 years on Wood Radio, helping give people a good swift kick in the plants. So I'm very much into gardening, very much into plants, and now retired, which is crazy. I mean, this has been a real adjustment for me, moving out of the working world. I mean, you know, the most exciting text you get during the day is that your prescription is ready. You know, it's just not, it's crazy. So I'm trying to adjust.
You know, it's so funny because, you know, I think when you were Stardom, I didn't do a lot of watching the news back then. And Matt made a comment about your plant groupies. And I'm like, that's a thing. And then once he was telling me about it, I'm like, oh, I kind of do remember a guy talking about plants on TV. I had not 1, not 2, but 3 women today all say the plant guy's going to be at your show.
That's fantastic. I love, you know, people love plants. They love flowers. So in retirement, what I'm doing now is I do something called the Gardening Simplified Show. So I teamed up with a wonderful lady by the name of Stacy. She worked for years with Martha Stewart in New York City. And the two of us do a show called the Gardening Simplified Show. And we have followers all over the world. It's a YouTube, podcast, and radio show. It's called the Gardening Simplified Show.
That's amazing. That is so cool. I appreciate you so much. And it's so good to get to know you, Rick. Brian, we're going down to you. 2 things that you are proud of yourself for.
Priorities and balance. I love doing stand-up comedy. I love spending the kind of time that it takes to perfect or develop this craft, and some say art form. I don't know about that, but making sure that my first priority is that I'm a good husband, that my wife is my first priority, and then we have a cat. Yeah, and that
There's therapy for that, man. There's therapy for that. We can help. So
therapy, or there's some jokes that are going to come about the cat later.
You know, I'm working on memorizing a new joke about the cat, and then just the writing comedy for me. There's 13 different comedy structures, and being able to use those, and I may not use every single one of them all the time, but I'm just continuing to work on getting better and better at writing my jokes with those tools in place. And in my past life, I worked on the radio for a long time. I still do some voiceover work. I really enjoy doing that. I recognize that I'm here in Michigan, but I grew up in the Chicago suburbs, and so I'm an avid Chicago Cubs and Chicago Bears fan, and we're very excited in our house this weekend after the Bears won, and we're going on to more. The only thing that I'm a little bitter about is I've got a show in Chicago at the Laugh Factory this coming Sunday evening, and it will be likely at the exact same time as the Bears playoff game, and nobody's coming to the show.
Yeah.
And I absolutely forgive everybody for that.
Hopefully they'll text you while you're on stage what the score is or something.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I want.
I know, right? I want to take a second right now, guys. If you guys haven't been able to see on the side of the screen, we have people coming in from all over. We've got some great people from other countries already, but I want to give a quick shout out to Linda. Linda is somebody that keeps showing up. Her and I have never had a chance to really talk. She's actually in Canada, but she joined a group that I'm in called the 2350 Network, and it's all about hyping people in whatever direction they're growing in, whether it's business, whether it's in some kind of capacity that you're trying to be your own boss or different things like that. And tonight was her first meeting right before this show. And so I just wanted to give her extra special welcome because she makes sure to show up for other people, and she could be doing a lot of other things with her time right now. So it's great. So many awesome people here. If you guys are on LinkedIn and you want people to connect with you after the show, you can go back into the comments, guys, and you can put who you are, and then they will actually be able to follow you and watch what your shows are coming up. If you guys have any of your websites that have turned into business pages on LinkedIn, especially, this is a great time to do it. The majority of viewers are on LinkedIn and they love to support you guys. I mean, if they're coming to the show tonight to support you, they're going to support you in the other things too. So Matt, I asked you this question months and months ago when you were on here with another very tall man named Omar, one of my friends, who just happens to be going through EMS training school right now. He has changed his life since the last time he was on the show with us. But two things, have they changed since the last time you were on the show? Can you think of two things that you're proud of, Mr. Matt?
Well, I love that you think that I can remember what I said several months ago. I can barely remember this morning, let alone then. I like the rest of my colleagues, I'm deeply proud of my family and the stuff that they've done. But I will say that and I don't mean this to be overly sentimental, but I am deeply proud of this group that is on the screen with us now, and also a couple of our peeps that have performed with us, Terry and Kyle and Lucas, and just being able to be around such incredibly fun people who are hilarious, obviously, and love doing this kind of stuff. Just to, why we do it is we enjoy it first and foremost. I was talking to somebody on the way. For the viewers who don't know, yes, I am sitting in my car because in about 25 minutes I have to go perform. I'm sitting outside a venue right now, and I love doing this part of it. I was talking with a buddy of mine, and I had to explain to him, like, yeah, this is my hobby, as I enjoy it, but no matter what you think of it, this is still less dumb than ice fishing because it's warm. I'm not being outsmarted by an animal that has a brain the size of a walnut. So I love doing this, but I'm really proud of the shows that we've done, the causes we've supported, and just being able to take this incredibly fun ride with a bunch of good dudes and one incredible lady who's down in Florida at the moment. Has just been something that's really been exciting.
My brain is definitely the size of a walnut. That's just not fair.
At least sometimes in the day, right? But she could have joined us from Florida for tonight. We could have given her a shout out. I didn't even think about that because, she's part of you guys. And I appreciate, you guys recognizing, your family, your work, your involvement. But why in the world did you guys even decide to be Funny Men? Because y'all have lots of other things going on in your life. And I'm not even going to lie. Like, I've been to comedy shows. I kind of figure it's either their full-time job or they don't have another job. So they're doing this, so it's not like that. When I started watching Matt's page a little bit more, the stand-up comedy live, I'm like, does this man ever sleep? I mean, a day job and this, and how many times have you been out of your house doing stand-up just this week alone? I think this is at least your third. Well, today's Monday, so like in the past week or so. I think it's been at least, 3-4 times?
Yeah, a couple times last week. It was a busier week.
Yeah.
Normally it's once or twice.
What is that? Normally once or twice?
Yep. Hey, there we go.
There he is in almost half a body there, since all we got is his little face in the car. You can follow him. Again, I put the links up. I'll share them again. I'll put the links for everybody because they travel too. I know Matt does. Do you guys travel as well?
Absolutely. I did mention I'll be in Chicago this this weekend.
But
I'll
that's
be on
because you were there.
Well, I grew up there, but yeah.
Shout out to Joe for taking that great picture of me. I look thin, so that is proof that he can work miracles with the camera.
I was almost asked, who is your photographer? Because that's a really good picture.
I do what I can.
That'll be Joe.
I do what I can.
So did you take everybody's picture? Did you take Rick's too?
No, I know. Me and Matt just kind of had a thing one day, and he came to the studio, and we hung out and had a good time.
He does like to hang out. You didn't do Brian's either?
No, but I mean, guys, I'm available. Hey,
Make sure your boothing understands you're talking about for photography or for stand up when you say
hey, you don't know my wife. Trust me, she understands because I ain't fighting her. It's cool. Oh, just so everybody knows, my picture was AI generated. That's why my head looks so clean and shapen.
Oh,
Impressive.
look at you. I love that. Brian, we're going to go down to you
Oh, okay.
because no matter how many degrees we have, no matter how many cool things we've done in life and conquered and everything, we should literally be growing in every day. You already told us you're trying to memorize a cat video, but what is something else you're trying to grow or learn in right now?
A bit that I wrote about our cat. Memorize a cat video.
Oh, yeah, I guess
that
that'd be.
took me on a different. I'm sorry. What was the question? I got distracted.
Yeah, me too. What is
There was a
something you're
laser
growing in?
pointer.
What you working on?
Michelle, I'll be in Chicago this coming weekend on Sunday, and then I'll be in beautiful Platteville, Wisconsin on the 24th, and then Muskegon on the 31st. And I've got other shows coming up in February and March and April and so on. Some of them are in Michigan, some of them are at other states in the Midwest. So I do travel. About half of my shows are somewhere other than the state of Michigan, and it's always fun to do that because I see so many things. I get to broaden my experience and meet new people. I do love doing that.
That's so cool. So one thing we know you don't have to work on is that radio voice of yours. So that just keep that steady pace and you'll be golden. I love that so much.
Yeah, I have a couple of audiobooks out there that people can find. The first one I did, it's kind of a sci-fi, steampunk kind of thing. I did 41 voices for that. And then there's another one that is got just one voice, but it was like a film noir style mystery kind of thing, a thriller. And the whole book is in this voice because that's what the author wanted. So that gets a little tiresome after a while, but
I was going to say you got to like rest the voice right. I have heard Matt use that variation of your words, though. I have heard that on him, so that's hilarious. Oh, I love it, Matt. What is one thing you're still working on, still growing on for yourself?
Well, right now the work project that has been fun and grueling and hopefully will be completed in April. I just finished the first draft of a new book. Called The Jester, Building Resilience Through Humor. Oh, what a coincidence. I happened to send you a picture ahead of time. Thank you. That rough draft of the cover. And that's been a wonderful growing and stretching thing just because, doing the comedy, doing the public speaking, the inner battle I think we face is, do I have anything worth sharing with people that would be beneficial to them? And using this platform to speak to companies and organizations on building resilience through humor and just stress management in general has been incredibly fun. That has grown out of this as well. So that's what I'm working on. And still trying to figure out how to be funny.
It's a work in progress, right? So
Absolutely.
Matt and I have known each other for almost 5 years to the day, give or take a couple of days, because it was right when I started my position. And I made a post on LinkedIn about this. It's like we started because the person before me had already set up this thing for Matt to come in and do trauma-informed cures with the guys that we were working with that were currently housed in the jail. And I didn't know him from anybody. I didn't know what even this reentry program was based on at that time. It was just a big kind of cluster. We were still having a lot of COVID restrictions where they couldn't really come out of the jail full time and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, he was very serious, very, everything is professional. And then every now and then you just hear him say something like as he's walking by or something. I'm like, was that a joke or was that just, that kind of humor, because I'm hustling and trying to get everything done. And then we have, like I said, 5 years and he just outed himself to me within the past, 9 months that you were doing stand-up. Never even knew it. And now he's writing a book about it. I mean, how cool is that?
Well, let's wait to read it first before we declare that it's cool. I mean, there's a long road of revision, and yeah. We'll
So
see.
there are a lot of people in the comments that have written in anthologies and published their own novels. You got your friend Brian here that has done voiceover work and done the audiobook. So you're surrounded by good people that want good content. So let's hope it's content, because usually I'm holding up during the show people's books that I buy. So if I know somebody that is going to be on the show and they've published a book, I always try to buy it ahead of time and I show it and give them a little bit of credit and all that good stuff. So I can't wait to do that to your book, whether the cover stays exactly the same or you change it, but I can't wait to see that in print. Joe, what is one thing you're still growing in?
Well, it's one thing I don't want to grow in anymore, and that's trying to be anti-fat.
Oh, I get you. I
am working on getting rid of this shape and going another one. But really, in my life, I'm actually working on a manuscript also on just my life. I think it's going to be called "And the Beat Goes On." Kind of getting through resilience. And so coming out of my childhood and some of the stuff that I did, and I'm actually a professional musician, and using that avenue kind of saved me, and just talking through all that. So it's a long work in progress. I just started it about 8 months ago.
That is amazing. I am so proud of you guys.
And I started doing comedy and I stopped writing the book.
Because sometimes it's better to laugh than it is to focus. Right?
Yeah, and I'm the rookie in here, right?
You're the what?
I'm the rookie.
Oh, you've been doing comedy the least amount of time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
And he's also probably one of the youngest of us as well.
Oh,
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Matt's the
Matt.
youngest.
Yeah,
Matt's
it
the
is.
youngest.
I love it.
Yeah.
But you're close, because you did say your age when you got on the show. So I love that. Joe, you are from Muskegon. You just put by way of West Lansing, but you've been in Muskegon as long as I've known you or known of you, or probably way before. Have you ever performed in Muskegon yet?
I performed in kind of Grand Haven area one time.
Grand Haven and Muskegon are not the same. How dare you say that?
It wasn't even Grand Haven. What would you call that, Matt? Where we were at?
Where? Dude, you were at the museum, man.
Oh, well, that was private though. I'm talking about the coffee, the community house.
Oh yeah, it's Norton Shores.
Norton Shores.
Yeah, Norton Shores.
Okay, you were getting close to the border. To the
Fancy
other side.
Muskegon.
No, I have
it.
not.
Yeah.
I have not performed downtown. And trust me, there's a lot of rumble about this. Because
Ooh.
people don't think I'm funny.
There are
You were
reasons
serious. You were
why.
serious on the pulpit. You're serious behind the school administration role. You're serious in your photography. Now we get to hear a different side of you. Does that intimidate you at all?
I don't know if intimidation. Yeah, it does scare me, because like it's a whole different behavior. Like, I mean, when I'm preaching, it's different. When I'm in front of students, I mean, that's just kind of like my jam. Although my students do say that they thought I was a natural. They think I'm funny.
Aww.
But it's just different because you're managing people's emotions in a different way. And I think, and trying to make people laugh and be funny and keep that connected, it's a tough thing.
It is. Well, I think you have nothing to worry about, because the community loves you. We need to laugh, guys. We need more humor in the world. One of my friends, Jane, she's over in California, and she wrote on one of the posts today. She's watching the show right now too, but she talked about learning and laughing at the same time. So many people, you think you have to be so serious and there's no time for fun. And it's like, when you can laugh and learn at the same time, it's like so many better things happen. I love it. I can't wait to see all of you guys on stage. Rick, what's one thing you're growing in? Because I know you've done that 30 years on TV, and you have saved more plants probably in West Michigan or beyond than any other human possibly, from what I've heard. But what else are you still growing in?
Well, it's an area that I'm growing in, but the other area that I've really worked on is physical fitness. I think longevity has nothing to do with how long you live, but rather how much you enjoy life as you grow older. And I've had a lot of fun helping take care of my dad. He's 96 years old. He is from the Netherlands, but now lives here in West Michigan. He survived the hunger winter of 1944 and 1945 in Europe when they ate tulip bulbs to stay alive and burned the household furniture to stay warm. He's 96 years old. I'm 66 years old. I'm trying to stay in shape. And there's a variety of things I'm involved with. For example, I'm involved with an organization called Still I Run. And it's an organization that essentially helps people that are dealing with mental health issues to take up running to help them with the depression that they're dealing with or other struggles. And so that's something that I'm very much into photography, but just giving back, because when you reach your retirement years, you have an opportunity to give back. When you're retired, you're dangerous because you have time on your hands and you get yourself into a lot of trouble. I mean, Jackie, I'm a similar age to Tom Cruise, and just like Tom Cruise, I do all my own stunts, sometimes not purposely. But it's just, I'm working my way into this retirement bit and trying to give back to others. And one of the ways to do that, of course, is through comedy, because we need to laugh more. We need to have more fun. We can't take ourselves too seriously. And so I love working with these guys and doing these shows. It's a kick in the plants. I just love it.
I love that so much. We need more laughter. We need more people wanting to get people happy again. I think back when I was growing up, it's like you knew everybody knew you. And then we all started locking our doors, pulling our blinds out, building up fences. We don't want things to do with anybody. So it doesn't matter if you're happy or not. Well, guess what? It does, because when you're unhappy, you get unhappy around your coworkers and around your neighbors and around these people. And pretty soon you might be causing violence, either to yourself, to your family, or the community. And we don't need any more of that. One of the cool things that I love you talking about mental wellness. I am absolutely all about that. I love, especially when men talk about mental wellness, guys, we need more men saying it's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to admit you've had depression, you've had anxiety, and you're willing to try to learn and grow. So thank you so much for highlighting that. I also want to thank all of you guys for keeping your ticket prices so low that we can get a different crop of people to these shows, because most nonprofits try to have a big ticket fundraiser because they want to make money. We are all struggling. Many of us got our budget slashed in October, and we see more cuts coming. You guys are willing to keep these ticket prices at such a good location or thing. It's only $15 now. Unfortunately, the Frauenthal has a pretty steep fee for the tickets. But if you want to get your ticket, and you can't because you just can't get to West Michigan, you can go to our QR code, you can donate, and we will possibly be able to gift your ticket to somebody else that might not even be able to afford the $15 ticket. So QR code is available. It goes right to our website. It does not go to Jackie's pocket, I promise you. You can even see it's legit when you go to it. But thank you guys for taking the time to actually do that. Now, real quick, going around, if you could be anywhere in the world right now, Matt, where would you be?
Oh man, I would say Grand Rapids, but I'm already here, so we'll pick somewhere more exotic. I want to visit Ireland. My daughter's been there with her band, the marching band Joe went with, and it was so great because my daughter is texting her mother all the fun. Like, here's this beautiful stone Celtic church. Here's the cliffs of Moher. All these beautiful things. I get a text from her saying that the girl in the bathroom stall next to her dropped a deuce, and it stank so bad that they all left the bathroom. That's the stuff I get from my daughter while she is visiting Ireland. So I'd like to go see the Emerald Isle. That's where I want to visit.
Without those kind of texts following you, I appreciate that. Rick, how about you? Anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Got to go in a few weeks to the Caribbean. I love spending time in Costa Rica. I'm going to be going to Puerto Rico. Because as a horticulturist, I mean, that's ground zero. So especially at this time of the year, because winter is so long for me, it's just impossible. So I got to get my hands in the dirt, get on a beach. So that's where I want to go.
I love that so much. Puerto Rico is probably my favorite place on earth. So I've actually been to all 50 states in a handful of territories and islands, only one other continent. not as many countries as I went to, but I've been to 26 of the states all by myself. And that's something that I think we need to remember what recharges us. And if dirt and plants recharge you, please go find them. Kind of funny though, when the girls at the office were talking about, oh my gosh, the plant guy, really? So we have a dead plant at our office, and she's like, I'm going to take care of it. I'll just get rid of it. I'm like, should we bring it on stage on the 31st and see if he can do magic on stage?
You know, you can do that, and that happens to me all the time. You know, or people will run into me and they'll spot me and they'll shake my hand vigorously and they'll say, "Hey, you're the plant guy, you're the garden guy," you know. And then the next words out of their mouth always is, "I have a brown thumb. Everything I touch dies." And I say to them, that's a piece of information I would have liked before you shook my hand. Bring the plant.
Bring the plant. Don't bring the dirty thumb. No.
Rescue 911. We'll talk you through it.
I love it. Joe, anywhere in the world right now, since you've already been to Ireland, where would you go?
I was actually hoping that you were going to ask me, because I do have a brown thumb. Just
I can't help you with that, Joe.
Just want to say, hey, there. I mean, I'm just saying, yes, it does sound inappropriate for me to say I went to Ireland with Matt's daughter. That doesn't sound right.
And 40 other people. So.
It also doesn't sound right to say that I brought something back. Never mind. So I guess I was just reading a comment that was funny.
Praying over my dead plant.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Maybe you two can be on stage together at the same time.
I don't.
It'll be a contest to see who can bring the plant back to life.
I will lose. I think if I'm going to go to a place, I want to go to the continent of Africa. Yeah, just for being there, but also the music. But if I really, any place in the world, I want to be next to my wife.
She best be watching this show is all I got to say. Or you can do the replay. Send her the replay tomorrow morning if she's all busy doing other things, because that's amazing. And I love that. Any specific country in Africa?
No, not necessarily. Probably West Africa though, Uganda or Ghana. I have a couple of friends from Ghana.
I love that.
Yeah.
I hope you guys.
Now,
she just wrote. She's watching.
Joe keeps saying all these amazing things. He's not telling you that he tried to get me killed once.
I did not, man. I just was.
You did too. You totally did. I cannot tell the story on this platform, but if anybody watching wants to know the story of how Joe almost got me killed over a T-shirt,
Joe, you gotta try harder next time.
Thing one other thing too.
Oh man, oh man, Brian, let's switch to you. Where would you go right now if you could go anywhere?
So I have been watching all of the Vince Gilligan shows, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and most recently Pluribus, and a lot of those are shot in and around Albuquerque, and I've never been there. But then I thought what I really need to do is get on Route 66 in Chicago and follow that all the way there. And that's a road trip I would really enjoy. And then I have to then coordinate that with arriving in Phoenix or Mesa, Arizona for Cubs spring training. So that's the little dream trip that I have in mind there. It's not going to be this year, but that's where I would like to be.
Well, maybe some people watching, maybe they will sponsor that trip to get you to drive to Arizona to get you on stage there.
It sure would be fun to do, shows all along Route 66 and that kind of thing. And I could just put some speakers in the back of the rental car and perform on the side of the road. But I don't want to do that. That sounds terrible.
It especially once you get closer to Arizona and it gets hotter. Now, I have driven by where they do the spring training. I haven't actually got to see them out there, but I'd like to go to Arizona. It's nice and warm. I do like warm, guys. I hope you guys get everywhere you want to go, and I hope you guys get to do all the fun stuff. I know Matt has a deadline more so than you guys, so I want to turn it over to Matt a little bit. Anything you want to share with the audience? Seeing some of the comments that came in, they kind of want to just get to know you guys a little bit more, maybe hear a joke or two, if you can share one before you get on stage, or tell us why you got into this or why you wanted to do a donation kind of fundraising event.
Well, why to do the fundraising event is, that really started, it was actually, again, in a sense, this was kind of Rick dreaming and speaking out loud, we decided to go for it because Rick and I did a show together. And he said, hey, maybe we could do a big show together. And that kind of morphed into, could we support an organization while we did this show? Because we just enjoyed doing it. And that became the first Comedy for a Cause, which we did for a local mental health foundation. We've done another one. Now we're doing it with you guys. So this just kind of morphed out of our mutual love of doing it and seeing, mental health and comedy coming together. And we just kind of picked up this wonderful group of people along the way. I always tell people I got into comedy as a voluntary midlife crisis. When I was 2024, I took a class. I've been public speaking and preaching for 20 plus years, always using comedy and humor and storytelling, and enjoyed that, and always kind of wanted to try it. And then finally I said, hey, I'm just gonna do it. And took a class at the Comedy Project in Grand Rapids. That's where I met Rick. He and I were classmates. And I didn't know anything about him except, man, this guy does squeaky clean humor. And maybe we could do a show together. And that's how it started. And then Brian and I met when we were at a comedy competition. Both of us did not advance, but hey, we made a connection, and here we are. And Joe, I think he dared me, or I dared you, to do an open mic once, because he asked me, how hard is it? I'm like, well, I saw a clergy-only open mic in Detroit. Let's do it. And so off we went. But how we got into it, for me personally, I started watching comedy in the 6th grade because I was bullied, ultimately. And when I could see these people on stage just talking and people were laughing at them, but it was different. It was a different kind of laughter than what I was experiencing. And I started listening to my dad's old Bill Cosby records, back before we knew. And you hear him tell these stories of like Noah and Fat Albert and all these characters. Man, that's hilarious. And I would watch Star Search and all these other things. I just loved it. And I try to repeat their jokes on the playground, and for some reason, it just didn't work. That's how I got interested in it, and then just always been fascinated. And then, finally took the plunge, and here we are. It's been fun.
And no going back now.
No, not at all. So, and I will apologize. I'll have to duck off stage here in just a couple minutes, because I just got the high sign that I'm going to be going on stage on a different stage here in just a little bit. But it is a ton of fun to do this, and I'm privileged to do it with these fine individuals with us and those not with us. So
I love that. And anytime you have to bail, just exit the studio, and we'll be thinking of you. And we might even talk a little bit behind your back, but probably not too much.
100%. No, 100% go for it. So
absolutely, we will.
I love the fact that like Matt and Brian, like if for some reason, like I'm on stage with you guys or next to you guys before the show starts or something, like I think I'm going to come up to like your guys' elbows or something from what the pictures show. So that's going to be kind of comical, just that in itself. So I'm excited to get to see you guys all, because just tonight you all have a little bit different personalities too. And I think that's the coolest thing. It's not just one comedian. It is all of your guys' different vibes, and what you're going to bring to stage is just going to light people up. Any quick little baby joke, Matt, before you got to get off here that you want to share?
No, just a public service announcement. For the record, Brian and I are not brothers.
No, not related.
We have been mistaken for each other at the same show that we both performed on. And people were mistaking us for each other. And I realized that we're both larger gentlemen with gray hair and goatees. And we are not in any way, to the best of our knowledge, related.
Right. We both have adoption jokes. And so they would say, well, no, you're the one who's adopted. Well, that's true. But the one who was adopted once or the one who was adopted twice? And they still get us mixed up.
Yeah, I am thinking about going back and getting adopted again, just to confuse it even more.
Oh, dude, that's my thing. Come on.
Maybe number 3.
Yeah,
the cool kids are doing it. So, anyway, guys, I got to step off. Thank you so much, Jackie. Guys, good to see you. And I will. I'll bring the funny to a bunch of people here in downtown Grand Rapids. So
enjoy, make them happy.
Guys. Thank you.
Fun.
So, Brian, what got you into this whole comedy jam? I mean, was this a goal since you were a kiddo too? Is it something that came later in life? Is it something that you have just like, I'm tired of being behind the radio. I need to have my beautiful face up there.
Yes.
Ooh,
yeah. So, what choice did I have? When I was a little kid, the very first album I ever bought with my own money was Steve Martin's Wild and Crazy Guy and Let's Get Small. And I listened to all sorts of comedy, old radio shows, Bob Newhart, Bill Cosby, Conflict Recognized, and all those things. Then Robin Williams, Eddie Murphy, and on and on and on from there. Huge fan of Saturday Night Live from the first episode, and I still watch it as often as I can or watch it later. And I absolutely love comedy, and I memorized everybody's bits, and I learned Monty Python records backwards and forwards. I absolutely loved it, and always kind of wanted to do it. When I was working on the radio, sometimes local comedy clubs and stuff doing an open mic or something would ask me to come and host something, local celebrity. And I really enjoyed doing that. And I would do voices and, not really written comedy, but jokes. And then mostly street jokes. And then on my 50th birthday, my wife got me Steve Martin's Masterclass. If you're not familiar with Masterclass, it's an online classroom experience that's just a pre-recorded class that you watch the person giving the class interact with other people who are in the room, give the material. There's quizzes and tests and things like that, but then there's also a community aspect of it. And I started going through that, and I kept thinking to myself, I could really do this. And I got done with it, and I went and talked to my wife. I said, okay, I'm going to start doing this, and it's your fault. And she accepted full responsibility for it, which I really appreciate. But I did get a little sidetracked at one time, and I'm so sorry that Matt isn't here to catch this, because Matt's a therapist. Matt's a pastor and a therapist and a comic and an author and so all that stuff. But lots of comics use comedy as therapy. They get up on stage and they're just like working out their trauma. And I don't recommend that as a way to do that. That's what therapy is for. Like, imagine if you made an appointment, you go to therapy, you tell your therapist your deepest, darkest secrets, and every time you have a breakthrough, the therapist laughs at you. I was in therapy for years, and my therapist asked me, if you could do anything, what would you do? I said, I would be a stand-up comic. She said, but you're not funny. And I fired my therapist because that was trauma. And I told her as I was leaving, I'm here to work. I'm not going to pay you to listen to me make jokes. People pay me to hear my jokes. That's how this works. Actually at our most recent show that the group of us did, my therapist was secretly in attendance. Yeah. And so it was the first time she'd heard me. And she did say that I was funny. She liked it.
You were vindicated. I love that.
Yeah. Different therapist though. So it's all right.
Well, I do appreciate you segueing into the therapy aspect, because that is one thing that some people do not understand. They think that every therapist is going to be the exact same. And that is not the case. Just like you don't really like this restaurant's burgers, it doesn't mean every place's burgers suck. It means go try somebody else's. Same thing with therapy. There's so many people that had a bad experience or somebody that made a comment like that. And you got to go see somebody that works for you. So thank you for acknowledging that.
Of course. And that's so important. And it's the same in comedy. When we all go up at our different times during the evening, Joel's going to go first. And if you don't like Joe's comedy, don't worry. Rick's coming up next. If you don't like Rick, we got Matt. If you don't like Matt, you got me. If you don't like me, you got to come back to the second show and just start all over again. We'll find something new.
Is it super hard doing two shows, guys, in one night, or do you kind of get jazzed about it and it's not that bad?
I get excited about it. It is tiring. There are some comics out there who you would describe them as high energy comics. That is not me. And I'm not deadpan either, but I try to be very relaxed on stage. My wife likes to say, "Oh no, it's just him. It's just Brian being Brian on stage." So since I'm just being me, I'm not sweating and getting all worked up and everything. It's just me being me. So doing it twice is just twice the fun for me. So, but I will have to have a snack when I'm done. That's going to be your
That,
requirement.
that's very fair. Very
Rick,
fair.
Rick, I don't know. With the work that you've done, have you done 2 shows in one night?
I have not done 2 shows in one night, so this will be the first time for me.
Mhm,
Yay.
mhm.
Looking-
We are popping your cherry, Rick. I love it.
Oh, see, this is the Clean Comedy Show.
I did
and-
not technically say I was clean, so just,
no, that's true. Yeah, and because it's Rick and Cherry is a plant, it's
Yeah.
okay.
it fits.
Exactly.
For sure.
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. I think after doing over 30 years of live radio
Yeah.
and trying to entertain people, it just gets into your blood, and I enjoy doing it. But it's so different than the speaking engagements that I've done through the years, talking to people about plants, and people, people love plants, but they don't understand them. I mean, they buy a plant, they stick it in the ground, they forget about it, and then the next year, miraculously, it comes up. And, it's kind of like finding that bonus onion ring in an order of French fries, right? It's the same kind of thing. Yeah. And so I'm all for that. But I think it's just, I don't know, it's in my blood. I love doing it. I love relating with people. And I think a lot of it stems from years of doing live radio. But it was a shock to my system, because going out and speaking, you do a lot of storytelling. Stand-up comedy isn't that way. I have learned from guys like Brian, the Comedy Project, observing other comedians. It's all about set up punchline, and keep them laughing. That's been a great challenge for me and a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And when we're challenged, our brains just get excited. Our brains are like, let me figure this out. I want to keep moving. It's so great. So I will tell you one little plant story. My son got me the cutest little succulent in this little owl ceramic thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was so cute. I mean, it was like right when succulents were coming out, and I watered it for 2 years before I realized it was plastic.
Oh boy. We've heard stories like that. But
I don't know where the water went. It
Did
just
you talk to it?
I mean, I used to have it sitting right on my desk, and then I kind of got embarrassed when I realized it wasn't alive and couldn't hear me or anything. So
Yeah, so it wasn't talking back. Yeah.
I wondered why it wasn't getting any bigger, because I always thought, oh, they might get big enough. You do have to replant them. What am I going to do then? Nope, I didn't have that issue at all. Do you kind of talk about plants on stage, or do you keep that totally separate away from comedy?
Yes, I'm going to have a segment in the Comedy Act about gardening, and I have to. I'm a guy who's out there every day gardening. I even pull weeds in my underwear. How they get in there, I have no idea. But no, I love gardening, and so yes, I will definitely make it part of my.
I love that. I'm excited to see you on stage. Joe, you are involved in so many freaking different areas, and some of your areas don't even cross, and then some of them do. It's not like you don't have like hours and hours of free time. So why? What made you decide to become a comedian?
Well, Matt was not lying. He dared me. He dared me. I was at church talking trash, and I was like, I'm funny, blah, 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 blah. And then he was like, well, put your money where your mouth is. So we drove 3 hours, and we did this open mic night, and I got the bug. Like, it really was exciting. It was last year. I haven't quite been in a year. And really, you talk, all of the things I do, for me, they feel like they do cross. Like, I mean, it's all about caring for people and looking out for people and, human services, if you will. So like, anytime that I can do anything to make somebody feel better, think better, go in a better direction, I'm all about it. And that's kind of what this is.
I love how you just connected that all. I think that is amazing. And I think it's really true too. It's something that a lot of times we think we have to be in this silo over here in this persona one time and then something else. So since I believe we talked about you being rookie, so you're like the newest of the group. My dear friend Jane, she's so amazing. She's going to be a guest in a couple weeks actually, which is super cool. But do you guys have any advice? Joe, let's start with you. Do you have any advice for somebody that is considering starting it?
anything that you think about, write it down and try to write as much as you can. Try to listen as much as you can. And if you're getting on stage, get on stage as much as you can. But honestly, I'm the rookie comedian, but I would dare say, and this might be a stretch, guys, but I would dare say I've been on stage more than any of us. I've been traveling as a professional musician since I was 7 years old.
That is true. And tell me again, what all instruments do you play?
Everything but harp and electric guitar.
Does that mean you've actually tried the harp and electric guitar and didn't enjoy them?
I did not try the harp, but I have tried the electric guitar. I just haven't learned it fast enough.
You guys are great. Rick, any kind of advice you'd give to anybody just starting comedy?
I think my advice would be that you have to take your craft or your work seriously, but you can't take yourself seriously. And I think that that's the key. And when you do that, you look at things in a whole new light, and you're constantly looking for materials. And I agree with Joe. I'm constantly writing stuff down, thinking it through, tightening it up. But I really believe that that's the key. You have to take this art, this craft seriously, but you can't take yourself too seriously.
I love that so much. And just in case nobody saw this earlier, Joe's boothing is in the house, by the way. So just in case you were wondering, I love that so much. So because you are the final performer of our event on July, it was July.
You can come back in July. We can come back.
Let's
Sure.
do it. I've got time. I promise. January 31.
31.
Can you tell it's been a long day and it's about time for
Clearly.
me to stop talking? Since you are our grand finale, you are going to light up the stage at the end of the show, maybe so much that they will want to quick run and buy some more tickets for the second show of the night. We're going to end with you. Why or what would you give as advice to somebody just starting comedy?
Sure. I'll echo what both Joe and Rick said. Get on stage, do it as often as possible. Rick said, take it seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. I will add to that. There's an awful lot of comics out there, people who are, they're punching down. They're just sitting there doing crowd work. They're making it look like just everything's off the top of their head, right off the cuff. It's supposed to look that way. That's well practiced. So the way that you get good at that is you really write that stuff ahead of time. So don't look at the crowd work comics and think, all I have to do is go up and be funny, because you won't be. You'll get eaten alive like that. As you take that seriously, and when I say don't punch down, to be clear, if you perceive that someone is not as good as you are, if you perceive somebody as less than, and you talk about them, it doesn't matter where they are in the social structure or whatever, you're punching down. So despite my intense feelings about what's going on in our world and politics and things like that, I don't get into that stuff, because that simply makes me putting myself up higher than them, and I'm not. So when you look for material, look within. Look at the things that make you, and in your immediate world around you. And if you have someone in your life like Joe's booth thing and my wife, Rick's dad, you don't start making jokes about them without running it by them first. You want to make sure that you're being respectful, make sure that that they're on board with it. My wife has absolute veto power, and oftentimes I am starting to think through some jokes, and I will run it past her, and she has said, I'd prefer you didn't make that joke.
Oh, I love that.
Okay. All right. And then I drop it. And then I tell everybody I know that joke, and I just never do it on stage.
Especially not when she's in the audience, right?
Exactly. There was one joke I did that she said, I'd rather you didn't do that joke. I said, it works so well. How about I do it if you're not in the room? And she agreed to that. And then she was in the room one time and I forgot, and I did the joke anyway. And afterwards she said, I get it now. I get why that's funny. Keep doing that joke. It's very funny.
I love
so
that.
it worked out okay.
I love that so very much. You guys are amazing. Just the idea you took the time with us tonight. If you're on LinkedIn and you go back to this event page, you can see there are some different questions and comments. I would love you guys to respond to that. If you're not on LinkedIn, that's fine. I'll do my best to respond, or we'll try to make Matt do it when he's not on stage or in therapy sessions, because I know he is, because I got to tag him. So I just enjoyed getting to know you guys, and not just the time you're taking to try to make this a nice fundraiser for us, but to get laughter back into people's lives, especially in this time of year. Some of our people are tuning in from, we've seen India, I've seen Guatemala, I've seen Hong Kong, I've seen California. People are in warmer places than we are, guys. It is gloomy as heck in Michigan, and we get a little bit of that seasonal sadness and crankiness and all the things, and this is just perfect timing that you guys can light up the stage for them. Thank you for your time tonight. I am going to drop you guys all down. You guys can either choose to exit the studio and go enjoy your booth things or your plants or whatever you want to do, or you can stay in the green room if you had any questions from me, and I'll be back there in just a couple minutes. Otherwise, I will see you at the show on the 31st. So great to have you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I wish there was a button like I could drop everybody down at the same time, because I always think it's like, oh my gosh, do they think it's like the worst going first or something like that? Guys, thank you so much for being here, for enjoying these gentlemen that came, 4 men on stage with me at one time. I kind of liked it. It was pretty amazing. They all have different styles. They are all going to be doing 2 shows in West Michigan. Guys, I'm right by the Pinky. This is Lake Michigan. Wisconsin's across the state. Chicago's down here. Detroit's way over here. Come join us. Come enjoy us. But if you can't, because I know a lot of people can't, it's just not really an option for some people. Again, we do have a QR code. This goes right to our donation page. You can just put in there that donating for your agency, donating because I can't come to the ticket. Even a $2 donation gets tripled, so that's $6. But if you don't have money, I'm never going to beg you for money. I am going to encourage you to find ways to make yourself happy, though, because when you're happier, places like mine don't have as much work to do, or therapy offices might slow down and things. Happiness sounds really easy. And I know we've said about we need more laughter and things like that, but we understand also that people's lives are tough. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of violence going on. Please reach out to those people that are going to support you and be an asset to you and make things so it's not worse for you. Because if you are surrounded by a lot of toxicity, whether it's in your employer, in your family, any of that stuff, it just gets tougher. So jokes can't just fix everything. Please consult a mental health professional, consult your doctor, figure out what works for you, because what works for me might not work for Joe, or it might not have worked for Rick or Brian. We have to do what works for us. Just Jackson Guest every single Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Sometimes we laugh. Sometimes we get very serious. Next week, I think we're going to have a little bit of both. We've got 2 amazing men coming to stage. It is also going to be Martin Luther King's celebrated holiday. So it'll be an extra special night to come together with everybody. I wish you all the best. I am so thankful for all of you that showed up, that have been able to watch the replay, that care about mental health and mental wellness and making sure that other people are safe and that you're taking care of yourself too. So I am going to play the amazing outro that Mike LeBlanc gave me and gifted me as we get off stage. Have a safe night, week, morning. If you're on the other side of the world, we appreciate you. Please reach out if you have questions about the kind of work we do at my day job office. If you have questions on how to connect with any of these amazing comedians and book them for yourself, we would love to support them as much as possible. Thank you guys, and have a great rest of your world. See you next Monday.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Hosting Just Jacks, we lift every voice. Re-entry with dignity, give people a choice. Restorative justice, repair what was torn. Conflict resolution, new trust can be born. Family unification, bring loved ones back. Hosting Just Jacks, we stay on that track. connection at a time.